This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
Welcome back, everyone. David Hall joining us here from beautiful Boca Raton. He is our Chief Clutter Clearing Officer. That's right, the CCCO of his own company, A+ Clutter Clearing Services, and he is like going to be your best friend. He wants to be everyone's best friend. You're going to meet him and you're going to want to be his best friend. He's got an amazing smart process that he uses to help people, whether it's downsizing, if you're a senior, he also has a lot of compassion to help people because a lot of the clutter does relate to mental clutter, and he's such a kind soul doing what he does. So I'm excited you're here. How are you?
I'm excited to be here as well, Jill. Great to see you. You're always so upbeat, effervescent, flamboyant, and may I say, just a delight to be with.
Ditto. Seriously, energy is sending right back to you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
All right. Good night, everybody. See you next time.
No, we're not leaving yet, but it's great energy.
Okay.
I love what you have, what you bring to the table, and really how efficient you are and your passion for what you do. So for those that are not aware, tell us a little bit about A+ Clutter Clearing Services to start,
Thank
and then
you.
we'll dive into the conversation you want to hear, of course.
Thank you, Jill. Thanks so much. And welcome everyone to this installment of A+ Clutter Clearing, where you clear the clutter to clear the mind. So a lot of us might have some clutter around the house. And just earlier today, I had a client. So that led me to a subject matter that we'll get into in a little bit about paper clutter, like specifically, what is it about paper that we love to collect? But before we do that, let me just tell you generally that I enjoy clearing clutter. Why? Because we all seem to have TMS. And if you haven't heard this podcast before, TMS stands for too much stuff. Fill in the blanks as you wish. Too much is basically what we're suffering from. And whether it's just a temporary situation or a big move coming up, or you just moved and now you need to unpack, but you don't know where anything goes, or you're just in a state of discombobulation, a professional organizer like A+ Clutter Clearing can help you solve the riddle of where do things go? How do I prioritize what I keep? What do I donate? How do I get rid of things that might be, let's say, flammable or like paints and things like that? And we handle all these questions for you, with you, really by your side every step of the way. Marie Kondo a couple of years ago came out with this tidying up fabulous book, sold quadrillions of copies, and then she did a Netflix show. And now I think she doesn't even do clutter clearing as much as she used to. But what she brought to the table is that now almost everybody recognizes that there can be a situation where you have TMS, too much stuff, and you might want to do something about it. The way we go about it is when we do clear the clutter, it allows for letting go of things that no longer serve us. And when things no longer serve us, we get rid of them so that we can bring into our lives something more apropos, something more delightful, something that really ingratiates our environment, both in the home, in the car, and on the road. If we're surrounded by stuff, I got to tell you, my experience shows that we're really distracted by the things that are around us. I got to deal with that pile of laundry. I've got to deal with those piles of notes. The taxes are still overdue from 3 years ago. Oy vey, if you're speaking colloquial Yiddish. What do you do with all this stuff? So what I like to tell my clients, Jill, is, it took a couple of years to collect all these things, whether it's extra wrapping products in a second bedroom or it's clothes and boots that you just don't have a home for, much less feet to wear. It's funny. Last week I did an apartment closet for a client who just loved shoes, and if you can relate to having a lot of shoes and needing to get more for your collection, let me tell you, they add up. They don't get squished, and so there's a fight. I never wear shoes we're going to wear, and shoes that we've worn out. And if you've worn out shoes, time to say, let's go and get rid of them. Donate them to somebody who has no shoes. And believe me, there are people that have nothing. people that are losing their homes, losing their property, and not to get sad and despondent, but people can
Ah,
really benefit from the things that you're letting go of. And I think that really puts, some sense into your heart and well-being for your fellow man and woman, depending on what kind of shoes that they like to wear.
huh.
So it's really important to see what is it that we find of value and what is it that we find we just don't really need those flip-flops anymore that are all dented and dinged up. But that's shoes and clothing. Today I thought, Jill, let's talk about paper and how do we accumulate it in the first place and how the heck do we get rid of this paper? Do you have any paper around the house, Jill, that you can relate to?
Everywhere. Still, probably since the last time we talked, probably half the same stuff is there. Oh, wait, there's new stuff. It's just more mail. It's more like, why do I need these things? More
More.
receipts. I just never get rid of them. I don't. It's a problem. I know. Ugh, help. What am I supposed to
It's
do?
it's really not fair. As we do our lives, we collect more paper. So it's really our responsibility to move aside things that no longer serve us. So helpful hints from Heloise, David Hall here. What I'd like to say is this is what I do with paper, and perhaps you'll get a helpful hint as well. First of all, we get the mail every day. Thankfully, we don't really get that much mail like we once did. We have email, we have everything else but regular paper mail. So even our bills are automated and things like that.
True.
But we do get a lot of mail that's considered junk mail. Now,
Mm-hmm.
I have a marketing background, so I do look at junk mail every time I get something to just say, oh, what's the headline? What's the picture of? Am I even interested or engaged in reading about my value pack discount coupons? And the answer is, not really. So if you get some mail and you say, wow, it's air duct cleaning for my air conditioner. I don't even have an air conditioner. Throw it out. Don't put it on the table. Don't put it on the side to go after a little later on. Put it in the garbage, or if you're into recycling, which I am an advocate of, then recycle that paper cardboard advertisement. So many times you get real estate postcards that indicate a house sold next door. Let me sell your house. And it's a giant postcard of a happy face and dollar signs everywhere. Do you need it? Do you really need it?
I
Hello, I'm
always
talking to
save
you. Do you
them.
really need that?
I always save them.
What are you
Like, I want to
saving
see
them
what these
for?
values of these houses were worth, but I look back when I go to sell my house.
Well, when you
Sicko.
sell your house, then you're going to look at what's happening in the picture of that day in your neighborhood, not something from 3 months ago.
Telling you
So
are a
I give you
mind reader.
permission, please.
Okay.
Yep. Throw out those postcards. I mean, if you want to pick your teeth with them, fine. I'm not here to say you shouldn't, but don't
Yeah. Oh
collect
my
stacks
gosh.
of paper. The other thing is magazines. I guess some of us in the audience might remember that we used to get magazine subscriptions. I still get Consumer Reports. That's the only one I'm allowing in my house because it does tell you about products and recalls and the best of this and the thing of that. But even those can add up over time. You know, you get 12 to 15 a year,
Yeah.
it becomes a stack. Now, here's the thing. Here's the trouble spot for a lot of people that collect magazines and articles and recipes.
Oh
Boy,
yeah.
every kitchen do I find a shoebox filled with recipes. It's overflowing. There's no way you can actually find any recipe, no matter how much time you look at it. And so it's just there out of love and sincerity for feeling mother, grandmother, and your ancestry. So
Yeah.
those recipes stuck in a box are kept there out of loyalty. So my suggestion is, listen, maybe you're not baking as much as you used to. Maybe you're baking even more. Chances are you can go online and get any recipe out ever created in the history of mankind. So collecting paper seems to be superfluous, if I may use a Scrabble word like that. You just don't need it. But I have clients, I go, okay, I'm going to throw out this stack of Better Home and Gardens recipes. No, there's one article in there. It's got the best sweet potato recipe. Keep it. So,
Right.
okay, we should keep a year's worth of magazines for that one piece of paper. And I suggest let's get that sweet potato recipe out of the magazine, toss away 80 pages that we don't need, and keep that one recipe. And oh, by the way, maybe you'll actually make that sweet potato pie. Chances are not, because we're overwhelmed with TMS, too much stuff. So this, one key secret to paper is to stop the madness now. So anything that comes in the mail, throw it out, recycle it, get rid of it if you're not absolutely going to use it imminently and in the next 48 to 72 hours. Old magazine, that beautiful yellow binder that everybody loves with the great photography, beautiful articles. And they're designed to be kept because they really are works of art. If your closets are blowing out like A+ clutter clearing like this, well, maybe it's time to rethink your National Geographic collection. First of all, go through the magazines. Nobody's saying don't. But if they're serving their purpose, perhaps it's time to reconsider letting go those old National Geos. If you have kids, grandkids, nieces, and nephews, you might want to give them a National Geographic magazine every month, or over the holidays coming up, you may want to give them your collection. I'm not asking you to be a burden and say, here's 500 pounds of paper, enjoy yourself, but to do it in a gracious way that says, I've had these for 600 years, and now it's your turn to carry the load. Perhaps you'd like to have the National Geographic collection. Any questions so far?
No, this is great. I'm thinking of the highlights magazines I get for my
Jill?
kids still, and they're 8 and 10. Can you hear me? Yeah. Hello? Can you hear me? I can't stand them.
Wait a
And they
second,
just
you have highlights? I want some.
I
I
just
love
gave
highlights.
I
One
just gave
picture
them to
has
my
something.
neighbor's kids, but I'm like, why am I still getting these? My
Oh,
kids have not read them in like 2 years. Yeah, yeah.
wow. Well, as soon as you stop paying the invoice, perhaps they'll stop the subscription. I don't know.
My
Um,
aunt, so I keep saying, "Oh, thank you so much." I feel bad telling her no because she bought the subscription for them.
Subscriptions are actually a really great toy, or I'm sorry, a tool, because they do come monthly. There's some education play value, and it lets the kids know that they're being thought of, and it keeps the magazine industry going. Highlights, one of my favorites of all time from the dentist's office. One page had one picture, and then the next page said it's the same picture, but 22 things are moved, and they're puzzles. So I do love highlights. But once you're done with that issue,
Uh-huh.
bye-bye. Share it with somebody that you love. I
Oh,
have another hint. How many people have tons of business cards? Tons, right? We get them at networking events. We get them because we meet people. We get them because we're getting our cars fixed. We're getting them because the dentist and doctor's appointments. We usually have way too many business cards. So I have a 2-second drill. It's called keep it or get rid of it. And I look at a card and I help my client. I look at a card and I go, I'm never going to talk to this person again. Garbage. I look at this and I go, I might talk to him. Keep. I look at this one, garbage. I look at this one, keep. I look at this one, keep. I look at this one, garbage. You can go through all the business cards you've saved up with those old ratty rubber bands that you saved for years and go through the business cards. Now, a couple of things will happen. One, the
mm-hmm.
pile will condense. Two, you'll actually be reminded of, oh, I should really find out what's happening with Smitty from blah, blah, background and see where they're at today. So it is a helpful tickle file to go through the old business cards periodically, get rid of the ones that no longer serve you, keep the ones that you want to keep. Sometimes you want to file them, just as business cards in a rubber band. Sometimes I have a book that I put the long-lasting business cards in, and other times I just have a little paper clip, something like this, and you just attach them on that way. You can do it alphabetically. You can do it by when you met them chronologically. Or you could do it by industry. But you can always reduce business card piles just by going through them, and you saw how quickly you do it. Keep, toss, keep, toss. If you don't know, keep it another couple of years. It's only a business card. A client that I had earlier today has a gigantic dining room table filled with piles. If you can relate, stay tuned. What do I do with all these piles, Jill? Well,
What do you do?
there's so many things that come to mind, but it's important as a professional to engage the client in how will they like to move the paper around. There's something, I don't know, is it satisfaction? There's something about paper that's slightly addictive. So we like it. We like the paper. Obviously, it has information on it, has invoice numbers, has a bank account stuff on it as well. But it's really important to see if you can segment your papers out so that you don't have a table filled and then you just have this distraction of what am I going to do with all this stuff? So we went item by item, and I had the client pick up a paper. I said, this is for the cat. The cat just went to the vet. You want to keep the bill? Yes, I do. So now we make a pile called pets. Here's another one. Oh, this has to do with my bank statement. How many of you get a monthly bank statement? And you look through it, maybe you don't. Some people reconcile, some don't. What do you do with it? Well, you file it under Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Chase Manhattan. And what really gets people stuck, Jill, is we've got file cabinets that have things from 18 years ago, 14 years ago,
So
fill in
true.
the blanks,
Yep.
longer than we're really using. So a good place to start to organize your paper in file folders is to go through the old file cabinet. I know it doesn't sound like a pleasurable thing, but again, it'll remind you of things in the past. You probably don't need to keep the old Keurig owner's manual. You know how to put the Keurig in, put the top down, make sure there's water, put the cup in. It's not like you really need an owner's manual. So toss it out or recycle it. Same with old bills. I recently read in Consumer Reports, my favorite news magazine, that we don't need to save stuff for 7 years. We don't need to save our taxes for 7 years. That is bunk at this point. And the reason is because the IRS, most banks are so automated and so computerized that they have everything you could possibly want. Paper to them is a burden. As you probably have noticed, they say, please, you want to go paperless? We'll even pay you $2 a month to not get the paper invoice. So you really don't need to legitimize or document things more than, according to Consumer Reports, 3 to 4 years. So if you do have tax returns from more than 4 years ago, you have my permission, my love, and my authorization to get that in the garbage or shred it or recycle it. And if shredding is your thing, I don't know what the statistics are, but more, what am I trying to say? More identity theft is done electronically than done in dumpster diving. So we get a little hung up on shred it. It has my account information on it. I don't think people are dumpster diving nearly as much as we think, as much as there's breaches electronically, even at the Equifax level or on TransUnion, the credit bureaus. They're getting hacked as well as the US government. So if they can't block people, then don't worry about just throwing stuff in the garbage or shredding mildly your old tax returns. Not as many people want your old tax returns as you think. What else about paper?
I could tell you.
I don't know. You know what? Saving receipts. That was another thing today. So you get the bank statement. It's a monthly statement. It has every single thing that you've done. You can reconcile with the little paper receipts if you're using the ATM, or you can just review it and go, you know what? I think the bank has it under control. If there's a mistake, of course you want to document and find that. Generally, more often than not, you're saving every receipt for kingdom come someday when you're going to find a discrepancy of $1.85 from CVS. So if you're stuck behind a wall of paper, my recommendation is to go through each receipt, note that there's another place that receipt resides, either in your target monthly account, so you don't need each receipt from every time you've made a transaction. Or just look at it and go, I just don't think I need this. What am I doing with this? Also, I'm going to say as a caveat, talk to your local tax accountant to see what they want you to save so that you do your taxes and you have documentation that way. I'm not asking you to get rid of taxes and receipts for taxes, but I am saying that because we have TMS, it's time to purge some of those in between everything receipts that we just doesn't serve us any value. Same with your wallet. Now, a lot of my clutter clearing clients are female, so they have purses, wallets, and the actual purse is a treasure trove of stuff. So to clear the clutter out of a purse, what I do is I take the whole thing and I dump it. I dump it out, and when you go through and you realize, wow, I do have a lot of stuff I no longer need that is just clogging my purse and weighing heavy on my shoulder. And so it's time to lighten that up. Both guys and gals have wallets. How many receipts do you have in your wallet?
So many. All my gas receipts. It's so
Old
annoying.
receipts from
And
a
my
travel
co-pays
trip
from
you took a
doctors.
year and a half ago.
Yep. Uh-huh.
So it's up to save it. It's an important document with money. There's dollar signs. There's things here I need to make sure I have a control over. But then it gets out of control because we just have saved too many receipts, not reconciled any of them. And now you've got a cluster of paper that is just sucking up your energy. So if there's any message to get out of today's podcast, it's that clear the clutter clears the mind. I've said it before, gang. I'll say it again. When you clear the clutter and let go of things that don't serve you, you're now ready and open for new opportunity, new possibilities. Things just work better when you don't have a lot of distractions around you. And paper is one of those distractions that we all have. There is one other form of paper that has a different value, and that is photographs.
Oh,
Old family photographs. If a shoebox was ever invented for something besides shoes, I would say it's to hold old pictures.
so
That's
right.
not my favorite way to store photographs, but it is a lot of people's ways to store old pictures that have not made it into photo albums, and there's no other place to put them. So I do a lot of clutter clearing for photo archive. And when we do go through a shoebox of thousands of pictures, you have to have, again, that right mindset, a glass of wine, some nice music, and or a rainy day. And you go through the pictures and you realize, oh, that is one beautiful sunset that I took 384 pictures of.
Mm-hmm.
Because we think the sunset is unbelievable. It makes us remember that time in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Maybe you pick out of the 384 pictures of sunsets, the 5 most beautiful sunset shots. And by doing so, you've just gotten rid of 350 or so odd pictures. Again, recycle, discard, no longer serves you. 2 things are happening. One, we're clearing the clutter, which is great. And secondly, we're actually reliving our adventures. We're reliving our travel experience. And that was the whole point of taking the picture in the first place. I love when stuff makes.
You are on a
I'm done.
roll.
I hope there's some questions. This is some monologue I'm doing.
I am
By the
just
way, I was just going to say the flowers in the flowers are really important. Whether you have plants or flowers or something living in your home from a feng shui standpoint, it elevates our mood. And I received these last week because last Wednesday, Jill, was the debut, the world premiere red carpet event of The Whistler. And The Whistler is
tell us.
a bio documentary where some crazy guy decided he wanted to whistle for the Guinness Book of World Record achievement. And that guy was me. So way back in the Wayback Machine, living in Berkeley, California, I set out to set a Guinness Book of Records and attained the record on April Fool's Day, 1983. And the movie premiere last week was to document the mindset about what was important about setting a record. How do you go about setting a goal? And even though it's, quote, goofy and not exactly, finding out a cure for cancer, it's a thing. And so the movie was made to create a legacy. It's 30 minutes, and it is being entered into the lineup for Oscars for documentary category. I don't know what that means exactly. The director and producer knows, but I'm the proud recipient of a beautiful story told. But again, there's no way really to watch it just yet until it goes through the mechanics of Oscar nomination. I have to tell you, there was 111 people in the lobby of the local movie theater. I saw myself on the big 30-foot screen. We were all dressed up to the nines, wearing tuxedos, drinking champagne. And besides the party atmosphere, the movie itself really holds up. So to say I'm proud is not even giving it justice. I'm delighted with the result. It has nothing really to do with clutter clearing, except it happens to be me. And but now I'm thinking, Jill, I'm thinking on my toes. I want to come up with a cleaning line called, you ready? Clean as a whistle. Clean as a whistle products. So that's because I'm not busy enough with clutter clearing and whistling. I'm now going to come out with products. We shall
Oh
see
my,
how that goes.
oh
The
my
final part,
goodness.
the final part of the whistling is that
Yeah.
I've set a new goal, which is in 2 years to whistle at Carnegie Hall. with a full orchestra and be that solo
Oh
performer
my
that
gosh.
whistles. I would whistle for you. I would whistle for you today, but electronically off over the Zoom frequency, it doesn't seem to hold up. Can you hear me? Can you hear that as a whistle or no? Yes? No.
I
Okay.
don't hear you whistling. Did we do this? Try it again. Go. I don't know if it's a joke. I hear nothing.
No, it's not a joke. I'm whistling out loud as a proof of that. I can tell you I'm whistling.
Oh my,
Not for
maybe there's something
25
wrong
hours.
with the audio. Oh my goodness. So it really
So,
is
but
true.
this it was such a treat last week to have that debut. But I'll still keep growing the clutter clearing business because I see a need out there. And it's just something that I enjoy doing. I've done it for a long time, and so it's just kind of it's a blast. So we'll see. I'll let you know, podcast viewers, what the next step is when I find out what the next step is.
And did we
So,
go to whistle training school? Who could help us learn how to whistle?
well, it's good that you asked that because I do private lessons on the side.
I'm serious. You probably, come on. Seriously?
I
But you
mean, if
really,
somebody really
how could you
wants me to teach
learn?
them how to whistle, I'll do the best I can. I have no formal training per se. I do have what my friend says as an opera singer. She says I have perfect pitch. So I'm blessed to have that gift. And the songs come out sounding pretty good.
Oh
Um,
my goodness.
yeah, it's just a thing. And
It's,
when I'm not dealing with paper and other products and TMS, I'm whistling.
I
Any,
love it.
any questions? I don't know
Yeah.
what we should do now.
I just feel like, I mean, I'm still overwhelmed by the mess on my desk that I keep looking down at because, like, I just lifted up. I'll show you. Like, I didn't you could see it. This is all my desk still. I know we
Oh my
talked about
gosh.
this a few weeks ago. The past. Oh, remember I told you about the Costco thing? Look at the Costco thing is still here, which is already expired. Like, I just can't.
Sale is over.
I can't because then straight from work, then it's like I got the kids, and then it's this, and then the last thing I don't prioritize it is what happens. It's the last thing on my plate, but also it's because I'm scared of it. There's like a right when you're also like scared of something, you push it away. Like what's the word? You procrastinate.
You postpone it. Yeah, yeah. You
I've been
you don't make the
procrastinating for
decisions, and then
years.
you procrastinate. That's the number one key to why there is clutter in the first place. The key is to have a just like you have a coach helping you out working out in the gym. I mean, I'm not a big workout guy, but if somebody was there going, drop and give me 20, I would give them 20. Same with clutter clearing. It's not a bad thing to have a coach that helps supervise, that helps you make the decision of what stays and what goes. I just happen to do it in a more entertaining, comical way. So the time flies by. Yesterday, I had a client. We cleared up. We just cleared out things in his kitchen and his garage. We kind of went around from room to room. The 3 hours went by so fast. It's a good thing I had a timer because it's like, and it's like time is up. So the good news is that it can be fun when you have a
Yeah.
fun coach like A Plus Clutter Clear. And that's why I want to come up to you, Jill, and see you. I don't know, before the holidays. Are you doing a big Thanksgiving thing,
Yeah,
or
I
what's
get
going on for
Thanksgiving.
you?
I think I'm going to New Jersey. I'm not really sure, but yeah, I'm usually around. I mean, then Christmas comes and right now the biggest clutter in my house, I also have about 20 animatronics and there's like three that have to be built still for Halloween. So there's boxes everywhere. There's Halloween stuff. So I gotta wait till the Halloween stuff goes away. The house will still be cluttered, trust me, with all my papers and crap. But yeah, it would have to be after all the Halloween stuff goes away. And then wait, when am I going to make time to put the Halloween stuff away? And then the Christmas stuff comes. It's like a purging of crap everywhere. And it's just not, it's not healthy. Not healthy. Help.
It's not
Help me.
healthy, but it is something that is American. There's other countries where you just wish you had an extra, bathroom plumbing. With us, it's like Halloween. You got to have the 20-foot skeleton on the front lawn, or it just you don't rate. And we're kind of a competitive society that way, where seasonal decorations take up a lot of room. We use them for 3 weeks, and then we go, "What the heck? Where am I going to store this?" So
Oh my
that's when
gosh.
garages were invented to store seasonal decorations.
No, well, thank you.
I wish we
And
had more time, Joe, but
me too,
we're talking
always.
fast
But
enough.
I just love this because you're just a great person. You're hands-on. If someone's interested in reaching out to get involved, to get started with you, just explain the process. Thank you.
Sure, sure. Well, there's this thing still called websites, aplusclutterclearing.com. I'm on Google business pages. If you're looking in South Florida, Boca Raton is my headquarters. If you're looking for South Florida help, just look me up on Google. And I'm also on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I'm on LinkedIn. Holy cow, I'm on all these platforms. And now, thanks to Podcast International Superfluous, here we are on the podcast world. So you can also call me 561 706
Mm-hmm.
7779.
Beautiful. The old fashioned way. The phone absolutely works well. And all right, we got to talk. Are you back on again next week? We have another show. I
Yes, I
I
surely hope
would
so.
love to see some of your before and after pics. If we could share them on the screen, I think that would like what I've seen on your website. Maybe we could share some of those.
I'll make a note of it and be prepared for our next
If we
show.
can, yeah, I love seeing the before and after. You can tell us what goes into it. And then, of course, I can only imagine, how, I know you respect a client's home and respect them, but there's times where, like, you're honest with people. You have to be like, you don't need this, right? And you have to help people make decisions that they can't make by themselves sometimes. It's a very personal thing. And some people might be uncomfortable with having someone see all their crap. But no, you gotta, because you don't want to end up on the hoarder show, which I feel like I'm heading down. But all right, thank you.
Well, most important, we got to take care of our own needs. So never mind other people's feelings about what our house looks like. We got to feel good about our own stuff. So we got to clear the clutter for our own well-being. And then, of course, friends, neighbors, and family are going to come in for the holidays. Of course, you can avoid the whole thing and make sure you're invited to somebody else's house.
Oh yeah, a perfect example. Let me just tell you quickly. I brought home a little girl from, we had a Halloween party here in the little clubhouse where I live, and my kids' friends, 10, 8, and then the little girl's 5. She's like, I've never been upstairs in your house. She's like, could I see your house? And I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna warn you, it's just a little messy. She walks upstairs, she's like, this is a disaster. And then she walked into my bath. This is like the hallway. She's like, and your bathroom is a disaster. And I'm like, I know. I'm like, and it's good to hear it from you. I said, thank you for acknowledging that you see what I feel and I see. And I'm just like a little embarrassed, but I'm like, it's just reality of it. And it's so interesting how a little kid picks up on it too. And then it's like, well, I wonder what her house looks like for her to know that word. Is her house a disaster too? Am I not alone? But it was just a comical. I'm like, yeah, I got to do something about this.
You handled it well. I think you did. Handled it really well.
Innocent of a child, and they speak very freely, openly, and I could tell you this, it's a disaster as well, but it was cuter coming from her, a little girl, fresh eyes, 5 years old on it, like, wow, whoa, you have problems. Thank you so
I
much
have
for
a
helping
couple of
us.
You're welcome. I have a couple of slots open, so if you need me up in Long Island, just let's talk offline.
Will do. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, and have a fantastic day.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.